so now we need to get back in here to be able to remove the window regulator, or how we would remove the window regulator and the window, right? So to start with, you can either cut a hole in your plastic here and over here, but if we're removing the whole window regulator, you got to be able to get this plastic off. I find it nice to just kind of take a blade and just kind of cut around. It's a bit of a process and can be a little sticky at times, but you're just going to work your way. Kind of a pain. If you're worried about preserving this piece, then we try to cut our way around the blade. If you're not too concerned, you can just tear it off and toss it out. But it's always nice to try to restore things back to the way they were when you got them. So that's removed enough to give us the access that we need. All right, so we have plenty of access here to be able to undo this 10 millimeter here. And then we've got an access hole here to remove a 10 millimeter there. All right. But to get to that access, we're going to need to move our window up. So what you're doing, have your key in your on position. Go ahead and hook these electronics back up. And then you won't have to hook them both up because these are just us door locks. But you hook that electronics up and just raise that window until you can see the bolt right there. And actually have access to both bolts right there. There you go. So it's there. And you take your 10 millimeter. And these are just crimped in there, so you shouldn't have to remove it fully. Change that. You do have to remove them completely. They're not crimped. So this is how you would, if your window was broken, you'd have to vacuum everything out. And this is how you would get all the other pieces out of it to be able to put a new one back in. Then you just pull the window out, put it at an angle, nice and easy. Set that down to the side. So now we can have access to remove the window regulator and all the components that go to it. So to remove the window regulator, there's 2 bolts here, number 10s. Undo those, because there's a whole window regulator and channel system in here. And then you've got these bolts here that are holding the motor. Undo the electrodes. Squeeze and pull. So we've removed all the nut bolt there. This one we can leave in. That way it can sit there. So now just kind of raise it up. Squeeze it all together. And you can, and you would work it out the hole. So this is the whole window regulator system you would need. Now, this one happens to work, but see there's gears inside here that will go bad. It can go bad over time. And you buy this as one whole unit and put it all back on. Now we're going to go ahead and put our glass back in and how you do it. Now, the regulator is still set up so we have access to this hole. We have access to here because that's where the window is going to sit. So you got to take your new piece of glass or the old one if you were just fixing pieces inside. And you're going to work it down. You know, if you put that edge in, put the first edge in. Easy. Just kind of get it down. Past the channel there. Past that front channel. And then lined up in the channel. Sometimes you may want some help, but this seems to be pretty easy. Just kind of get it lined up in those rubber channels there. These two screws back in, and they're 10 millimeter. One here. And the one over here. Now for testing purposes, just go ahead and hook these electrics back up just to check it. Raise up, go down, it's got the auto down, goes all the way down. And that's how you would put your window back in on your Mitsubishi Mirage. Thanks for watching. We've gone ahead and re-adhered this plastic back up, this barrier. That was already a big hole, can't really fix that. But anyway, we've re-adhered this back up as good as we can. Try to put it back to the way we got it and make sure our electrics come through the hole where it was designed. So we're going to just go ahead and pop the door panel piece back on. So just going to go ahead and pick it up. Make sure that got all these plastic clips. They're in there and in place all the way around. And so you're going to want to do this. You're going to want to, first we're going to make sure our electrics kind of sit down in this little channel here. We've got these two cables we got to re-hook back into the back here. So that's the way the cables look when they're hooked back up. They just pop, just so you know. Both of them are the same. But you just pop that out like that. Just get that little bit of angle on it. And then get that little angle on it. And that way you can get them out. Reverse order. You just want to make sure you get Get the pin to slide down in there, and then snap it all back into place. And that's how you go ahead and put those clips back on.